to make sure they can find success in those team fights, but it definitely feels like, just from eyes on it, SK have a bit of an easier time in setting those ones up.
And I mean, there is just a giant target on Granada, not too far off either, so maybe we're going to see some fireworks up on this top side. The Flame Splitter kind of pushing in Irrelevant, now going to get ghosted upon. He flashes away, he doesn't have his equalizer just yet. They flash in on top of him. Irrelevant needs one more auto and he will get it. He hit level 6, but it shall not save him. Now Shio knows that he is dead to rights. 2-1 to SK.
And this is a very similar story to what we saw between SK and BDS in week 1 of the split. Hard focus from SK.
Deal there, so we've seen now both supports kind of having themselves in unfortunate positions as both top laners now find themselves in a 1v1. The equalizer comes down as well as the overheat. The Ignite's been ticking onto Adam. He's got some extra movement, but he's not got the damage. And that is the power of the Rumble, the shred on the magic resistance, and you just put down your overheat.
And that's the big one there, especially with the Hex Drinker for Adam. He's already planning to try and make a play happen, but now look on the bot side.
Yeah, gonna see them now go for a 2v3 as Dots does get taken out. Crowny just perfectly set up there to throw in the rocket. Now Exekick taken very low, but hasn't been taken down.
I mean that with some of these big summoner spells burnt, maybe SK can look for a pick beforehand.
Oh, they're looking for one right now. There's the charm coming in. No Cyclone, remember, but you've got yourself the cease and desist. There's going to be the ultimates comboing in. They trade it back 1-for-1. Good flash from Certus means he does not get hit by the Vault Breaker.
But Rift Out as well if he wants to try and add to that gold that he's picked up. But good chompers now, keeping SK at bay. You've got no Rumble here. And you've got no engage for Marcoon, so BDS just get to walk away as Marcoon now going to move bot side to plant this Rift Herald.
Yeah, Adam was already covering Irrelevant as well on the roam, so he's happy to pop the Ragnarok, but we're going to go bot side as we already see there. They're going to try and jump in on top of Shio. No flash on the Vi, but no real commitment to come in here. There's going to be Shelly in the drop down, and that's only going to be plates towards Marcoon. There's Irrelevant and Adam trying to see if they can dodge each other out. There's going to be a little bit of damage. Oh my god, Irrelevant needs one more auto and he's going to go down. Just enough there.
Fights again, though. It does come down to execution here for BDS because I don't think they're the best of front lines to try and take these fights.
No, they're gonna look for one right now. No flash on Shio, but he has to use the cease and desist. There's gonna be the hostile takeover doing just that. Marcoon can't really get his finish off on the kill. Shio gets another shield, and Certus goes golden, but it's only to delay the inevitable. Nuke comes in and does just that.
They tried to take the fight immediately, but you don't have Exekick in position. But now, looking for one more.
They're gonna go right straight onto Labrov, who goes down. No bailout for him. That's just going to be a trade back. It's more of a pick than anything else. But again, SK, it feels like they're trying to...
This is very scary as well for BDS. You don't want to be caught in the pit if this combo end up coming off from SK, which is why they're playing so far back.
Yeah, you're going to see the handshake come in. They get a knockback on Dots, but there's a good equalizer. Dots will still go down to the rocket. They're going to try and see if they can take out Shio on the backside as he's forced to flash away. The Unleashed power is onto the clone. That was a great decoy, but they've run straight in onto Certus. He gets no chance, but they're putting down the feathers. The shutdown, it's a 2-for-2. Exekick lets the feathers fly. Oh, that zap was almost exceptional, but it's a 2-for-2. In the end, you feel like BDS are still coming out that bit stronger.
They just managed to eke away from the engage from SK. Very spread. Here we go.
Marcoon, you don't need to be there, and you will be shut down. Nuke picks up his second kill, and again, just small little differences in what are making started. They don't know it's been started just yet. They see 3 people kind of keeping this one away. They're kind of soloing it off. I think SK are way too late to this party. This dragon is going to be secured. That's going to be Soul, an infernal Soul at just after 24 minutes.
And the fact that you are playing a composition that still has a ton of scaling to come through, trying to consistently be drawn into these fights, but not actually able to pick up the gold or in these grouped situations. Labrov, though.
Labrov gets charmed, but the scan of the week is good. They're going to pop down the ultimate onto Crowny, try and separate him out from the fight. Dots gets jumped on by Adam, and he is dead. Marcoon can't make much else work, but he does get the Syndra now. The Jinx is getting excited. Crowny's on the hunt. They haven't found Certus, but Crowny has a feeling he's somewhere in their own jungle. You've got the 1v1 back in the top lane, and Adam asserts his dominance on this Olaf pick.
And that's Baron for BDS. They can immediately move over there. Great opportunity there for BDS to be able to turn that one around. Relevant, the ultimate wasn't quite in a position where it really was threatening or cutting people off, so BDS find the chase and find the kills.
That's the big thing with the Rumble, is that if you cannot get these ultimates down, if you cannot find the right angle, they just feel a bit like nothing. It just feels like they don't do anything.
And I think it was a basic call of like, hey look, do we try and all in on bot side or do we try and all in on Adam? They try to go for bot, and it's costing them now. As again, bot lane tower going to be taken.
Yeah, that's going to be the baits cracked open on the bot side. That's inhibitor number 1. Almost certain to fall with it. They've got the minions in mid lane as well. Certus trying to use the Orb of Deception to see if he can maybe get rid of these minions, but It's just so difficult right now. There's just not really a lot you can do as SK with this Baron buff still going. You just have to kind of sit there and watch.
The streak seems to be continuing for SK, a team that started off so well and went to be such high hopes, but
even the Nautilus is going to be shredded down by a lot of this damage. And speaking of damage, they're going to look to try and get a support and jungle combination here on top of Relevant. He cannot trade back the kill onto Labrov as he gets hand shook away, and that is just as easy as it is. And honestly, that exact kill right there kind of spells exactly how this game is
started to wail away on these Nexus turrets and draw SK away. Charm lands, but got not much else here for SK.
Yep, you can see the hook just go wide as well. As you mentioned, Adam was escorting the minions into that mid lane to give himself an angle as well. They're going to jump in on top of Marcoon. Good charm here on the Chino, means he's going to have to use his stopwatch. My God, that was a hell of a lot of damage, and it's not going to stop either. Your feathers may fly, but you are being turned into KFC, my son. And that is going to be SK kind of rolling over as BDS continue how they left the regular split and looking just as good in game number 1.
And you can hear the French crowd here, happy as Larry with BDS. That was a fantastic game that pad the stats in a negative way as they now finish off the Nexus.
Yeah, Crowley doesn't care. You got the win. Stats are just stats, and that is going to be a dominant game 1 for BDS.
From start to finish, BDS had full control, pushing mid, bot, making sure that Adam had control over that top side in the early stages as well. And even with that early pressure towards Irrelevant, Adam still had to turn it around. This was a statement. And I think this is actually just a good read from SK. The chances are BDS were going for the Darius.
And I love the fact that when BDS are playing as well, the Darius gets locked in. It's not a surprise. We know what Adam can do on this champion. We know how
that you actually get to see it in action here as Shio is making use of that counter jungling and putting Marcoon behind as a result.
Well, Dragon looking like it's going to be the first start here, but with no cleanse here on Exakick, he's forced to flash away very early. But the Arctic Assault is just that. They get themselves first blood. And look,
kind of utility style build, Irrelevant, going to play relatively defensive, especially with the
cleanse gets used there as Labrov goes in with a handshake. But you've got Nuke roaming down here. They're going to try and see if they can catch out Doss. He cannot flash away, and he gets taken out by Nuke, petrifying gaze, and BDS bot lane. They're going to be scared for life.
And Adam was already moving
access to that hostile takeover. You are looking to try and make moves here. Adam going to pop the ghost, and you imagine he's going to try flash as well. As the blast going, oh, he doesn't hit it. Can he get away? No, Nard back into the wall, and SK bring themselves back to that top lane dominance.
Really nice job from Certus and Relevant.
Marcoon actually snuck himself around the vision. Adam does not know the Monkey King is here. Relevant doesn't have Mega though, so this is kind of a hard one to really make work. They're going to jump in with the Cyclone. Adam taking a fair chunk of damage. He does have the stacks, but he does not have the time. And that's going to be a kill up on that top side. Certus tries to move down, does have the cleanse from the spell book, and keeps himself alive. Didn't use his flash or his Spirit Rush. Here's the hostile takeover. Doss flashing away. Not quite sure where Labrov was aiming that one. And ends up all kind of just being a couple of ultimates shared, but here we go. We're going to see if they get themselves another little bit of a charm. Shio trying to run away. There's going to be the ultimates there from Crowny and of course from Nuke. They're not quite able to get an extra kick. Still alive underneath the table, or it's going to be underneath the tower. They are getting themselves more and more kills. They got the turret on the top side as well. As you can see, Certus trying to dance around these fights. Labrov forced to flash away from the charm. Crowny's still putting in work. Ends up being a very scrappy affair, but a 2 for 2 in the end of it all.
He has to commit to the play underneath the tower.
Well, do they want to try and fight for this dragon? That is the question. Marcoon is here, but he doesn't really have an entrance strategy, so he's just going to have to give that one up.
And the SK resets.
Yeah, I mean, like the Lulu just went back. Doss is nowhere to be found on this one here. We will have Marcoon going over the back end, but he is by himself. He is on a flank. Do they want to fully commit to this one here? The dragon not going down exceptionally fast just yet. SK not got the Lulu, but they are kind of moving everyone in. Irrelevant goes into his Mega Gnar form. They jump in. They're going to try and catch Adam. That is Dragon Soul point now confirmed for BDS, but where will the fight go afterwards? Ultimates going left, right, and center. BDS on full retreat. Marcoon on the backside of this. The flash charm is good. Shio forced to flash his own. These are so many low health bars, and those chakrams are doing the damage. The Aphelios has still got plenty of tricks up his sleeve, but they have the total vision control right now. And for SK, they're going in blind.
Charm does land on the Shio, he's just going to walk away, but again, it's a case of SK trying to see if they can bait BDS away from this position. Mid-prio is so important.
Oh, they land the ultimate, they put down Certus into a stasis because he's got the miasma as well. There's a good hostile takeover to kind of reset! The feathers fly and they cut down Exakick. He had no way of reacting. The damage damage was insane.
Crowny with great position on the feathers, even managing to move across with the Gale Force to get it. Now Adam goes!
Adam gets in, gets himself two movements for his trouble. They're going to have Irrelevant use his Mega Gnar on the backside of this, but everyone is disengaging because that is a mini Gnar. He is just a child in a battlefield and he doesn't belong.
There was no flank, there was no chance for SK. BDS Shield though, just about able to get out of there.
I mean, Certus has nowhere to go, and you're in the miasma, and that is why the Cassiopeia was banned in game number 1.
And that's why Grounded is a very fair and fun time to be part of. BDS now will get the soul for themselves. They will get
it, and now SK find themselves in a bit where they have to go for this. They're looking for plays as a 4-man, but I don't know if they're going to be able to go for it. It's actually as a 3-man, as EpicSkillshot finally gets himself something. They get a 4-man knock up here with the Cyclone. Marcoon trying to see if he can maybe delay a little bit longer. There's going to be a good charm on the Geo, but Irrelevant's not mega right now. The flash over with the hostile takeover is decent, and it separates everybody out. Double kill coming in from Crowny. And it does feel like we're at desperation stations here for SK. BDS are in total control.
The timing window was so good for BDS. There was no ultimate on EpicSkillshot. He was counting down the seconds, holding the Infernum gun, saying, please buy me time before I can get the big AoE. But BDS wrap up the fight before it forward, and even in you're looking in the mid lane, potential for a dive onto EpicSkillshot here, but they're just going to go for the inhibitor tower instead.
Yep, you'll be able to trade this one back. I will say, Irrelevant should be able to get himself the turret here as well, as Adam has not even attempted to move towards him there, but so it's actually not that bad of a trade if I'm being totally honest for SK. This is a good moment for them to kind of get a little bit of gold back from those gold bounties. They're not a million miles behind. If they can get that inhibitor, it would have been fantastic, but going straight into Mega Gnar with Nuke coming, definitely not the position you want to be in there as Irrelevant. No, going to see them catch out. Cleanse gets used, but he does get himself away. The feathers do fly, they bring it back, and Doss is dead. Crowny is just styling on them right now. He wants this series over and done with before he can even get to dinner.
The TP coming in here for Nuke, going to immediately set up for another tower to be taken here by BDS. Marcoon forced out on top side means he's not here, and there's no defense that SK can really mount.
Oh, SK, you got to pray to whatever god you think is fair. Because right now there is no fairness in the world, there is just results, and BDS are looking for the 2-0, a clean one and a decisive one at that. The crowd know what they want. This could be the final fight. The miasma goes down. Irrelevant doesn't even get to go mega. You will stay a child. Double kill for Nuke. EpicSkillshot hasn't got the right guns. The Nexus turrets are falling. BDS cementing themselves in the LEC as one of the teams to beat, as they will smack down on SK. They chose you for a reason because they knew they could get the result they wanted.
And they chose for SK to move down into that lower bracket. Fantastic stuff from BDS. Clean from start to finish. Control in the bot side for Crowny both games in this series, and it just really felt like SK never really had the chance of a look in.
I mean, that's the big thing, is that like SK found semi-decent opportunities. I think there was a lot more, it was a lot better from SK.